I'm at the Bangkok Motor Show, one of the biggest motor shows of the year, packed full of brand new cars. All the OEMs have their booths, and I'm ignoring all that because I've gone straight to this with stickers all over it. Thailand has been waiting for this car for a decade. In fact, 12 years since the last Civic One Make Race was held in 2011, and that used the Civic FD. The whole One Make series, the whole Honda One Make Race, it finished after that when the floods came and Thailand set back. Honda pulled the plug. We've been waiting for the Honda Civic One Make Race to come back for 12 years. So this is the most significant One Make Race car in Thailand in a decade. It's finally here, built by GPI, who built the original cars back then, the FDs and the ones before. They are back in their comfort zone, back on territory they know, and this car is epic. And this is also the best One Make car in the last decade because they have put a lot of work, a lot of detail into this car, because in recent years they've been running the City, which is right behind my camera here. They've been running the Jazz, they ran the Brio, but now they've stepped up to run this car. And it's significant because what they've done is they've put a manual transmission into it. Before, until now, you couldn't really have a Civic One Make Race because it was just all auto boxes. And really, if you're going to have a car like this, you need manual transmission. They've done that. They've built a car with a manual transmission in it. So it's a big, expensive operation. They've left no stone unturned. This is going to be an exciting race car when it hits the tracks this year for a series which will be at Pira, which will be at Buriram, and which will do a street circuit as well. Exciting car, looking forward to this. I'm just going to show you around it, show you what's gone into it, show you what they've done. Underneath the bonnet, Honda people, race people will know this engine. It's the 1.5 VTEC Turbo. It has 178 horsepower when you buy it out of the showroom. With the remap that they've done by PowerLab in fact remapped the Honda City One Make Race car, did a pretty good job there. So with the remap of the engine, with the new exhaust system, I'd say they're looking just over 200, maybe 200, 205 horsepower, which will be bang right for this car. It looks all pretty stock, all pretty standard, but we have significant changes underneath all these pipes and wires and modules that you get on cars now, because they've got a manual transmission sitting down there, barely visible, and that's linked up to manual gear shift and again stick in the car. So it's got a big change under here, but you can't really see it. It's got a clutch from Extreme, and it's got a Cusco LSD as well. So we've got a big change down here in terms of the transmission. The engine, like I say, they've remapped the ECU, but apart from that, the bay looks pretty stock. So let's move on to the braking, because now we've got a bigger car. We've got the biggest One Make car and the heaviest in a decade in Thailand, and the most powerful. We need brakes to stop it. Poking through these white Mugen wheels, you've got a red Brembo brake caliper, a big 4-pot caliper, 330mm vented discs with bells, machine brackets to get the Brembo calipers onto the hub, braided steel hoses. This is the full hit. This is going to stop the car. Most sophisticated braking system I've seen on a One Make car since I've been in Thailand. So onto the AERO package, because it's got a full AERO kit all round. It's built in Thailand by a company in Thailand who have collaborated with the project with GPI to put this kit on the car. We've got a front splitter, you can see the side skirt, and you can see at the back end the diffuser section, all contoured, all molded to give this car some AERO touch. Add on to that, we've got this rear spoiler, which has been developed by GPI. Konanatai tells me the idea, the concept came from the Ford Mondeos from the British Touring Car Championship. It looks absolutely spot on. Reminds me a little bit of the Alpha 155 wing as well. So we've got a great aero package which sets this car off because it's kind of lowered, it's kind of got more stance to it with these wheels and tyres. Looks fantastic, and I think also a race car, it's got to be effective, but it's got to look good as well. You want to buy this, you want to race it, you want to drive it, it's got to look good, and this car looks fantastic. The Civic, it is just, when it comes to Thai people, it's right there in their heart. The Civic is their #1 car they love. Civic race car with an aero kit, with that stance, we're already there. So onto the wheels and tyres, and what I like, first of all, a racing wheel, it needs to be white. No other colour. You've got to have a white wheel on a race car. Second thing is, if you follow racing, if you follow JDM, if you follow Honda, you'll know this is a Mugen wheel. No expense spared. Fantastic. We've got the Civic back and we've got Mugen wheels on it. It's a 17-inch wheel, 8.5, and it's got a 35 offset. Beautiful. Real history emotion here, and the wheel nuts are from M1 Auto Works. Then the tyres, Yokohama. That's what GPI go to with a race series. Yokohama do pretty much all the one make tyres here. They do the Toyota series here. AD 08R tyres, 235 4517. This is a nice tyre to race on. Yokohama is a rock solid brand if you want grip. So wheels and tyres, perfect. So the exhaust system, it's got a full Fujitsu system, custom made for the Civic FE, Japanese company, long history with building exhaust for Hondas. This is going to be the real deal. We can't see a lot because we've just got an exhaust tip sticking out, but it's a full system right up to the header. Should be worth a few extra horses, and it should sound good as well. Sounds very important to me at least. So yeah, that's the exhaust system. I want to mention the suspension, but you cannot see a thing. It's not up on ramps. I can't get the wheel off in a motor show for a poke around. So I'm just going to stand by the wheel, or squat by the wheel, because that's kind of where you would talk about suspension and talk about it. The suspension is fully adjustable, full race suspension, made by these guys. I get their sticker right in there. This company, they do great work, very professional. They did the suspension on the Honda Civic One Make Race, so it's logical that GPI would go to them, collaborate with them on developing the suspension for this car. So let's look inside the car. First thing, I disappear into the seat. Pukka racing seat here. I have sunk right into this seat. It's really enveloping me here. It's a SPARCO Competition 2 seat. Great, good brand. They've got the head side support, which everything has on now, pretty mandatory. But I feel like I'm in a race car and I'm right down on the floor. The center of gravity is everything. My 75 kilos, it's got to be as low as possible. But I'm also 185 centimeters, which is taller than most people who are going to race this car. And my eye line is down here. I've got to look where I'm going, race car style. So I feel like I'm in a racing cockpit already before we get onto all the bits around. It looks pretty cool. So we've got the SPARCO seat. We've also got a SPARCO steering wheel, which for the record is a Model R383. And we've got SPARCO 6-point harnesses. Now also what we've got is a clutch pedal, which I am not used to in a Civic. We've got racing pedals, but we've also got a clutch pedal here. So when they fitted that manual transmission in, the pedal box, the pedals and everything has to change. Pretty big job to do to retrofit all that in. Now I'm going to stop talking about all the bits around and I'm going to get on to the thing that I like the most in here. This, the shifter. It's from Hybrid Racing in the US and it looks beautiful. And to be honest, I would love to see this in a Civic. You get in a Civic and you've got this auto box down here and this big shifter. No thanks. This is beautiful. So Honda, if you listen to my videos, I don't think so, but just in case, a shout out, because you should put these in your cars. Now maybe I am not the most regular customer. In fact, I've never bought a new Honda in my life, so Honda are not going to be interested in my opinion. Maybe there's a few other people like this, but I absolutely love this. This really feels the real deal, and I like to find this manual transmission in a Honda Civic. I miss the manual boxes in a Honda. So we're looking good in here. The interior's all stripped out. The passenger seat's gone, the rear seats, all the carpets, the linings, apart from the door cards, the soundproofing, the glove box is gone, everything ripped out. And GPI say that when you buy the car, the race car off them, you get it all packed up in a box. So if you want to finish racing, stop racing, turn it into your road car, you can do so. You've got everything, and the cage is bolt in, so you can unbolt it out. So you can retrofit this car, like with all the One Make cars here, to be honest. So anyway, we've got a completely stripped out cockpit. We've got manual transmission. I love this racing shifter. And we've got roll cage here, which is custom designed and made by GPI in Thailand for this car. It looks strong, it looks sturdy, it doesn't cut into the dashboard, so you're not going to damage your dashboard. Again, if you want to retrofit, it's all there. And some of the dashboard stuff is still here. You've got the touch screen, all the controls, the air conditioning system, you've got the electric windows, they left the door card in, so you've got those touches in, and those electronic aids are still there in the car. And what I like down here is they've put a panel in to mount the safety switches, but also the panel that they drop down here for the parking brake, for the brake hold, for the economy. They've mounted it up here. Ergonomically, it's designed to sit down here in a panel. They've lifted it up, they've stuck it sideways, and I like that. It feels really racing style. It does not fit, but it blends in, and it's there. You've got your controls, but no compromise to go racing. So we've got the safety kill switch here. If you have an emergency, you hit that, everything dies. Then we've got some other safety as well. We've got the fire sense fire extinguisher down here. Also from SPARCO, got SPARCO nets, but they're not here because you leave those lying around in a motor show, quick fingers, they're gonna be gone. So we've got safety net there as well. So this is a real pure racing cockpit, and I like sitting in here. I like the feel of it. So I want to talk about the price. Pretty straightforward. 1.85 million baht, which I think is a pretty decent price for this car, to be honest. From the showroom, stock, the Civic starts around about 1 million. So 1.85 million, I think it'll be a sellout, no problem. And because the race season, we're already at the end of March now, 26th of March when I'm making this video. Race season's coming up, May, June. They're not going to do a big run this year. I would guess between about 8 and 14 cars. We'll kick the series off, get it back on the road, get it going again. Then they can lay down another batch to build for next year. And I think it's going to be a fantastic series. Thailand has been waiting a decade for a Civic One Make race car, and this is going to resonate. It's going to hit the nail on the head. It's really going to connect with people.